Welcome to Point Blank Period, the podcast.
Thank you.
We are joined by, Howie Smiles. We had him back the other time.
Yeah, thank you for having me back, guys.
Yep.
Would you rather drink tequila for the rest of your life?
Well, everything I drink is tequila.
Every single thing that you drink is tequila.
When you dehydrate eventually.
I mean, maybe.
You could survive off of it.
I mean,
So
that's
hypothetically,
one of
you
the things you have to
survive
take into consideration.
Exactly,
with
when
the
you're
would you
thinking
rather.
about it.
Okay.
So, tequila in the morning, in the afternoon. I mean, every single...
After gym.
I mean, yeah,
I'm thinking
during
about it.
gym, as you work out, it is your
Can you
water,
imagine?
it's your
When
life.
You're parched, so you
Yeah.
can't really reach
So-
for the gym.
Can you imagine?
I mean, you can add shit to it if you want to, cranberry juice, apple juice, shit, anything.
Yes, that's-
water.
But it has to be tequila as the base. Or drink like 2% of bleach to everything that you drink. And I mean 2% as in, it's there, but you can barely taste it, you can barely feel it.
And it won't harm me.
It won't particularly harm you, but maybe in the long run, like over 5
Yeah.
years, Okay, so both of this, the time scale is about 10 years of doing this. What one would you
I
rather?
think I'm going to go for the bleach, because if you're going for pure... Wait, hold on, it's not pure tequila, is it?
It's pure tequila, but you can add
You
shit
can add
to
stuff
it.
to it.
But I'd
So it
say
can be as little as
50% of the cup is going to be tequila
15?
anytime. 50.
God.
Sheesh. Who does
15% of tequila.
Yeah, I have to
drink
go.
it
I have to
something
go.
like
I have to
that.
go with a little bit of the bleach because I feel like you'd literally just die from drinking that much tequila. I don't think there's a way your brain could function. And then with the bleach, like 2%. Some drinks you might just add like a little light kick on top. So I'm gonna have to.
Wild.
I'm gonna have to go
This is
bleach.
wild.
I think I'm ready with the bleach.
And you?
What
Yeah.
about you?
I think so too,
The bleach.
Yeah, 15%.
What about you guys?
tequila every
Would you
time.
do tequila?
I'm thinking of the health benefits and
I think I'd go for tequila.
the cot.
You go for tequila.
I'd
Yeah,
go for
I'm
tequila.
alcoholic.
Huh?
15%
Yeah, but
of the
like-
time.
No,
As
50%.
Think
As in,
about-
like, say your cup is this much, 50% of it is tequila.
You become an alcoholic.
And then the
I
other
reckon.
50% is what you pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you drink
Or
water,
air.
that's
Your liver
50%.
will-
Yeah.
So you're gonna be more dehydrated.
Yeah, but
than
like
hydrated.
with bleach, I swear your stomach's just not gonna make it.
Yeah. Like, you're going to die eventually.
2%, dude. That's quite little. I reckon it can be diluted.
Like, what is that in
I
a
feel
cup?
like it's quite diluted.
Is that like just like, for example,
It could be a
barely?
drop. Yeah, like barely
Oh yeah, I'll
anything.
take the bleach. I'll take the bleach.
Yeah, here,
I could do a
drunk
drug
every
and-
day. Yo,
It's a tough one, though.
just
Yeah, I take the
incoherent. Like
bleach.
you just can't talk to Linda anymore.
I can't live.
Yeah, she's just constantly just drunk. So thirsty.
On the road.
But all she can drink is tequila. Like,
Yeah,
No, that was a good one.
out here with her just do a
Tell me how
little
many-
bleach drop in it.
Yeah. Do you know what? Low key, when I
Yeah,
go for the bleach,
yeah.
I think
Save
I'd go
yourself.
for the bleach.
Yeah, that's what I say as well.
Okay.
But I understand we're here to talk about something that's been pressing, a
Press-
pressing matter
What's that?
What's that?
in the group chat somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
So, I'll start with a little story time.
Go on.
So, last year, I went to the gynecologist, just wanted to get my stuff, checked out, make sure I'm all good, welcome to Point Blank Period, listen with your parents if you're underage.
Wow.
And it was like a waiting situation. I was waiting for about 3 or 4 hours to be seen. So I'm at this point, I already know what I'm going to get, a 40-year-old white woman coming to check out my bits. Out comes this 6'3" hunky black man. And he says,
He's like, I need some water.
and he's like, oh yeah, Linda? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, so I'm thinking, okay,
Wait,
like,
this is the gynecologist.
the gynecologist. So I'm thinking, okay, he's been sent by whoever, like, he's not the guy. I mean, surely he can't be my gynecologist. We go into the room, it's just me and him. I'm like, oh, so it's you. Oh, wow. Wow. And I just start getting flustered because he's hot. Like,
Yeah.
he's really hot.
I'm just trying to imagine myself in that situation.
Yeah,
It's peak. I'll be
what do
thinking
you
about
do?
maybe I'm gonna faint.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna like maybe I need to make an appointment another time. I'm gonna come back.
And then he was like, "Oh yeah, did you want like a female someone here to look after
Chaperone
this?
or
Chaperone." I was like, "No, it's fine."
Yourself.
I don't know where this could escalate to. So I want some privacy. If I'm keeping it 100, so I remember feeling how I felt. I remember coming out and texting you straight away, texting the group chat straight away, and then the group chat erupted in this this debate of would you let your girl go to a male gynecologist? And I remember you guys having quite a lot to say. So, take it away.
It was an interesting
Would you
one.
let your girl see a male gynecologist?
So,
That's an interesting one.
Very, very interesting one.
Oh, you put your point first. Good.
I don't know.
I can't tell.
It's a difficult one, because personally, I don't know if I'd be down for that or down to, be open-minded to something like that.
But
Go on.
it's a profession, right? So you got to look at it like, all right, would you let your
there's other
girl
details in your
see
story
a male, a female?
that
So what are the details that you remember?
perhaps that we should share.
Let's get the full story, all rounded.
All rounded.
Let's not
full
miss
story.
anything out.
Okay, so
I'm just forgetting the subject matter.
he's taking me up to obviously get examined, and I'm obviously laying in the chair, my legs are up, everything, but I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. So yeah, he's talking to me softly, talking me through what he's about to do
Professionally,
professionally, but we've already made such like we were talking and like we were vibing and I was bouncing and he was proper, we were feeling each other's vibe. I could tell it. I could just tell,
I'm trying to think about his situation. Like, was he really in there?
Yeah.
In that same vibe with you?
He was in the vibe, believe me.
Okay,
He was
cool.
in the
Oh
I'll
vibe.
take your word for it.
But I just remember being like, leg up on this side, leg up on that side. And he's doing
No
his thing.
chaperone.
No chaperone.
Okay. I'm just clarifying that.
Yeah.
So it's just you
I
two in
said
the
no.
room.
I said no to
One
the
man, one
chaperone.
job, do you know what I mean?
No, you said no to the chaperone.
I said no to the chaperone.
You're like, you got this. Just
Yeah.
leave me.
yeah.
You seem
I have
capable.
full trust in you.
Not so much trusting
Said
myself.
Oh, wow.
Joking, obviously.
Hey.
Professional environment. Obviously, if someone wanted to. Anyway, back to
But
the
yeah,
wine.
So what do you mean? What was she missing out in this story?
So do you know how I'm going to spin this? So if that was your missus that had this experience, obviously Linda's single.
Yeah.
that's been around.
Okay. So
If your missus had that experience,
okay. So if I'm home, and then my girl comes back. And she's like, she has like a bit of a skipping a step almost. Yeah? After she's gone to the gynecologist, I'll be like, yeah. So tell me about it. And she'll be like, oh yeah, no, it was great. Everything's fine. Everything's functional. It's all right. Just a smile. But tell me, he was the guy. He was like, oh, it's just some guy. I was like, oh, was he young? He was like, yeah. He was like, a couple years older than me, I would say. Is he muscly? He's like, oh yeah, he's muscly. If I hear like a situation like that, I'm gonna be like, okay, so next time I'm gonna come with you and we're gonna go together.
Doesn't matter because you won't be allowed in the room.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah, but it's
you
just-
can't be a.
Just having my presence on the outside of the room, like through the wall,
it won't make a difference.
No.
So in other words, you're not comfortable with your girl seeing a male
in that situation. Because
chaperone.
like in most cases, I feel like
But if it's happened already,
But if it
that's
was a-
what you-
Do you know what I mean?
old guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
no,
didn't
that's
make
what
you
I'm
feel
saying.
better
Like,
because
if
you're an old
it's
guy?
like a general, like
So it depends
standard
on the
run of the mill. Yeah. Well,
What? Wait.
wait. I can't be sounding crazy for that. Like, if you hear about that situation from your missus, you're not gonna be comfortable. Like,
Okay, yeah. Flip
if she's
it.
gonna be excited
If we
about the
flip
next
it,
checkup,
If we flip it,
Okay.
if I don't know what the female version of
the male
so a male going to see
A woman
A
gynecologist.
a male going to see someone
Oh.
for his bit.
Dick
I don't know what
doctor.
that's called.
Dick doctor.
Big doctor.
And then
Fresh
being
with
someone young and attractive,
Fresh. Yeah.
fresh. Really
Yeah, but all of these. I'm not even trying to shit on the profession, but there's rarely been a time where I've looked at my nurse and be like, yeah, you're
You're
nice,
fresh.
you're fresh.
Well, I think it's different with on the guy side. I'm sure a lot of guys will see their nurse, and even she may not be up to the highest of
Freshness.
their own personal standards. They will still believe
Oh.
Should we get signed?
Yeah.
I think that's where dudes and
Where it
girls
changes.
get different.
So for a girl to see the gynecologist, that's
And also,
attractive to her.
I want to spin it to gynecologist part as well. So you say, like, obviously they're professional and it's not in their interest to
Yeah.
do anything silly and stuff.
It's all health.
So I remember mentioning this before, that I saw a news report about this American politician that had a gynecologist experience that did not go well, basically, and she
Would
was
you like to
sexually
shed some?
assaulted.
Yeah. So
And she was not the only one, apparently. A lot of people came up with her, and it became quite a big thing that gynecologists... I don't want to, like, obviously, any gynecologists are listening. Got to keep it political. I'm not saying that's what your profession's about, but there has been an issue in history with this kind of thing. Therefore, I would be unsure or uncertain about my personal, like, someone in my relationship going into that direction. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you knew a road had extraordinarily high car accidents,
You wouldn't go to.
you'd think
You would have
about
drove down that road.
how you've
Avoiding that
taken
road.
this there, I don't know. So Howard, how do you feel about this whole topic?
Okay, so I don't know. Like personally, I do get like a little jealous when I'm in those situations, and I always like tend to assume the worst. Like
Why?
because I don't know. Like if I can visualize it in my head, then it becomes like a possibility. You know.
Okay, fair
So
enough. I
it's
feel like a
like-
lot of people function like that.
And also, if you feel like the last time I was on this podcast, I was talking about being in a good place with your missus as opposed to being in a bad place in your missus. If I feel like I haven't been doing enough, I'm in a rocky position, and then she's in these situations where she's getting a bit starry-eyed. Like I've definitely talked to ladies who've had like wandering eye at the workplace, for example, and stuff like that. So I can definitely see these dynamics happening. There's like a novelty with like going in this professional setting and then meeting someone like in a situation like that. Like that just sounds
A novelty,
too crazy,
you know?
Yeah, and then if there was genuinely a situation where my girl comes back and she's like just yeah, all happy after this situation, and I've like catch wind that it's this guy and having banter and all of that, then in my head I'm already going to be creating the whole dynamic when I'm not in the situation, when I'm not in the room. They're going to be like, oh yeah, how just wait 10 minutes, 10 to half an hour. Oh yeah, maybe half an hour. Oh, they're all laughing on the way to the
peeking through the window.
Yeah, exactly.
What's going on
Open the
there?
curtains, shut all the curtains. Come on. And then my head is just going to be doing gymnastics. So.
I also think that if you look from the gynecologist perspective, I know they got to keep it professional.
I was gonna say,
they're not
yeah.
supposed to get aroused and stuff.
You
but
can't even.
to the point where, like, all right, so they're seeing all this kind of different women coming every day and different shapes and sizes. The moment someone of their type walks in, do you not reckon that there's something inside them going to stir a bit like, oh, I'm a lucky guy. She's coming
Yeah,
to
but
my
the
office.
professional in them will hone that.
You know what
emotion.
I
mean-
think though?
Mm.
Like, you see how we're so used to seeing hands or
Yeah,
elbows?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what a vagina is to them at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
no,
a vagina
no,
attached
man.
to a fine lady that also provides like good like.
But how are you going
Do
to
you know
get
why
to
it's
that in a consultation?
That's-
You're going to sit down. What's the questions he asked you when you sat down?
You know, the general
I
question.
Yo,
don't know. I'm
being in-
thinking, do you smoke? Do you drink?
Oh,
I'm
not
thinking the
even.
health questions. It's
no,
not
it's more
do
like,
you like
when's
to
the
cook?
last time you had sex?
That's not
Oh.
the same.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
So every time you, all right, I don't know, all right, so maybe I don't know what it is for you guys, but anytime you have intercourse with someone, yeah, you're not going to think, oh, well, I've done this a few times already, I'm a bit bored now, it's just the same as usual. That's the same type of thing as you're saying, is that you see it enough,
No,
That
I'm
it's
just
like- it's
saying
just-
it's a body part,
it's a
and
body
they're
part.
used to that body part, right?
so it's just a feeling, and you're just used to that
But
feeling.
the feeling
So-
part, I feel like wouldn't just come up like the way
Yeah.
you're saying it would. Like
Yeah.
obviously for you, it's a shock that this is a male and he's cute and you were expecting probably Susan,
Literally.
So would you
I mean,
say
can I
that-
just ask
Alright,
you
go on.
that? Given the situation, being in that situation, do you feel like you may have been able to twang the gentleman?
so if you
like,
saw him on
if you're
road,
like, maybe you shut the shop. No, maybe even like
Or
within
in
that,
that- okay.
setting. Like if you kind of like,
A part of me solidly believed yes. However,
Hold
I
tight, bro, if you're
respect
watching.
he's gonna be watching. Oh shit!
I just
you're gonna look up for
respected.
your file and she.
I respected like what he was doing enough and like his position that I think it's different when you think you wouldn't even want to make someone feel that uncomfortable. But then towards the end, he kind of hinted out that like he gets crazy people all the time. So I'm guessing he gets a lot of girls that like go mad for him, which of course any girl feeling the type of way that looked at him, you know, he's a very fine man, would have felt those feelings and would have acted on them.
Yeah.
You know, it
That's not
takes
surprising.
the mature adult in you to not act on the way you're feeling.
Yeah, and also flip it on the girl too, because not every girl's showing every guy.
Yeah.
So that could also be like just
That's a good
by the
point.
fact that she's been, you know, exposed, if you like.
Yeah, might as well
I
be you.
feel like men are way more susceptible to that, to like being like getting like some form of like happy energy from a girl and just thinking like, oh yeah, she's into me, like, you know, like I feel like that's a common trend amongst men to like
explain that. We don't really like, because girls don't really think like that.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I feel like generally like when men interact with women, like because they get shut down a lot or like they've experienced a lot, like in a certain dynamic, like maybe if you're in a coffee shop and then you interact with a girl and you're like, hey, could I get your number in this coffee shop? I'm just giving like a example. Like she might be stressed about work or whatever, like something's going on, she might not be in the mood, she might have a boyfriend or whatever. Chances are you're probably going to get shut down in the coffee shop. So if you go in the coffee shop and you get like a nice little, like a girl, like you walk past someone or you both grab the same baguette or something and she's like, oh yeah, go for it.
In the movies. What's going on?
Given that response is more elevated than expected. But since that example is like more elevated than you originally anticipated, then you think, oh yeah, like, she's actually feeling the kid. It's a bit of a weird example, but do you feel like that's the case for men?
I don't usually buy baguettes if I'm honest.
I'm saying
I should start buying baguettes if that's what's going on. You know what I mean?
Do you guys? It's not.
Oh
You
God,
grab
you
the
women
same
just grabbing baguettes. Start grabbing the baguettes just for the sake of it. Oh, baguette, yeah. Let's see who's nearby. So grab at the same time.
We're trying to keep the momentum flowing.
Oh,
I know you are. I know.
I was yeah.
Go, Karen.
Okay, so my next question becomes, like, why does your mind have to automatically flip to that negative perspective of something could be happening versus this is a professional looking after my girlfriend's private bits that she'll be returning to me with a safe vagina to intercourse
you know what I
with.
mean? Well informed, whatever.
Yeah.
I think the more the case is, it's not about trust, because you obviously trust your woman 100%.
Yeah,
No matter what, it's the fact that another man's getting pleasure from your woman's bits, I guess.
Yeah,
Think about it. This man's dealing with grannies. He's dealing with like all different
who said
shapes
he
and
got
sizes.
pleasure?
Yeah.
The one time a pen girl walks in, he's obviously gonna think,
Oh,
I don't know.
but that's beautiful because obviously what you're saying is your girlfriend is paying.
Yeah.
Right? But
you'd like, well,
Like,
that's,
and
that's
you
the
wouldn't-
idea.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
the kind of perception you'd like look to. You
No,
know what I mean?
but this is like, it's his profession. Like who says he got pleasure from your
That's like, all right, that's like saying I've been walking in these streets for 23 years and I should not be able to look at a girl and think she's fit because I'm professional walking in these streets. I've been doing it 23 years.
What?
I mean, we're just assuming.
Obviously, he's been doing it a long time. So
He
you're
wasn't
saying
that
that
old.
because he's doing it a long time and it's his profession that he shouldn't get around.
No, but what if he's not even
at the end of the day.
attracted to your girlfriend, like the female? What if that's not? Do you know what I mean?
That's an if,
Like
I
you
guess.
made that up.
That's an
That's what I'm
if.
saying.
That's the thing, but it's always an if on the other side.
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
true.
So
That's true.
just to dismiss
that's
it,
true.
just to dismiss it, just saying by he's seen so many and that's his profession. I don't think it's a strong argument. Obviously,
I do no, but
I don't
like
know.
generally it's pretty solid in most cases because you will get desensitized in the situation. You're also like you're accustomed. You've also seen like plenty of vaginas that are also like in the like worse shape.
But you get doctors
And the good shape.
You get doctors and therapists that date their patients.
Yeah, I was also gonna say, can
Yeah.
they?
So there's always
even
going to be a case where
do
they're aroused.
anything?
But it's still like a valid. It's just
We're
it's
human
just
beings at the
factors
end of
like
the day.
that. It's like factors like that. Just reduce the possibility of that kind of like porn situation to ever occur anyway. Because that's what it is. It's like in that type of, if it was to go down, then that's like a friggin', you know.
I would say
But
that's not something I'd be worried about. Like if some crazy thing's gonna happen, it's gonna turn into some next.
What
What
would
are
you
we
be
worried
worried
about
about?
here? The girlfriend falling in love.
No, it's the fact that another man is enjoying your woman's business.
Okay.
That kind of.
Is that what you're worried about?
No, it's not worried. It's just it's not
It's
unsettling.
something-
It's unsettling.
It's a thought
Yeah.
that would pester.
Yeah.
Okay,
Also-
so here's another thing that came into mind because I remember before. So when I went here, this is when I was freshly single. So I remember before my ex always made a big deal about if I ever encountered a male gynecologist, I should opt for the female.
Right.
And he felt very strongly about this.
Right.
And I remember
I
thinking,
don't blame him.
shit, if had I been in this relationship and this was happening, how would I have gone about saying no? I mean, of course it would have been easy, but I wouldn't have wanted to. Do you know what I mean?
And then if you didn't, would you tell him after?
That's exactly what I was
'Cause-
thinking as well. Would I have told him?
Yeah, that's wild.
The answer would be yes, but I'd have to like
That's wild.
completely reduce
The thing is,
That's
like,
crazy.
That's like, yeah.
the hype or the
Because more time, like, even though I'm arguing about this situation, I am playing like devil's advocate. Like, I do think that if my girl was to go to the gynecologist, I wouldn't like say anything because that situation is so unlikely to happen anyway, and I trust my girl, so I'm not going to say anything like that. I think I just wanted to defend myself a little bit. I wanted to clear
No,
up
it's
my acts,
just
but
the
I do
mad
feel like in that situation, for I don't know, it's just weird for him to make that demand, you know.
You think so?
I think so.
You can't see a male
Yeah.
gynecologist. And if you get one,
But then again, from his side, like it's also like a low. It's not an issue that takes a lot of energy to resolve. Like
exactly.
you just go and then you say, "Can I?"
Yeah,
like,
can I have a
leave
woman
my-"
and then it's yeah.
So
But it's the
I was
fact
gonna
that I
say-
wouldn't want to,
What-
and it's the fact that it doesn't matter for me
Can I
who
pose
is.
something for you?
Yeah.
So your man's gonna go see a dick doctor. I don't know what they call him.
Yeah.
You go with him, I guess. For some reason, you're in the area. You just say hello to him, and the doctor comes out and painting.
Just
9 out of
cutie.
10. Worldy, and she's kind of a bit flirty with him, a little bit
on
as
top
well.
of that, they have solid chemistry, solid
And you
instant
see it before they walk in
chemistry.
the
right before your
Solid,
eyes, going
just
back
banter,
and forth,
just banter.
just back and forth a little bit, and it's just
How you
like,
feeling?
wow, we've never gone back and forth like this.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
it's like you're not even in the room. It's like you're not even in the room. They're just giggling like.
And then he turns around to you, babe. So, are you okay for me to go in? What are you saying?
I don't know because it'll be that part of me. That part of it is like this is just a beautiful woman who just happens to be working here and just happens to be doing her job. Do you know what I mean?
Extremely well.
Yeah.
A part of me would be thinking that. Obviously, another half of me will be thinking, "Oh, I hope that like nothing goes on. Hope, I hope I trust my man and etc.
That's
etc." But
crazy.
I think a part of me would just be thinking, "Do you know what? Like, he couldn't control who was about to walk through the door. Just as that day, I would not have ever known in my dreams that this man would come through
dreams.
and call my name.
not even in my life.
In my dreams.
Oh, your dreams came true, huh?
Loki, it's it was one of those like I wanted to at least once in my life have experienced that. Do you know what I mean? So it was one of those-
Okay.
And now you
Alright.
have.
yeah, so it was
Wow.
very satisfying for me.
Wow.
Obviously, it didn't go all the way to that, the total dream.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. For me, I'd be
Alright.
fine if my boyfriend turned around and said, "Are you okay for me to go in?" I'd be like, "Okay."
And you
That's
meet him
cool.
I
afterwards.
respect that.
and
Yeah, wait in the
He's
waiting
got a
room.
skip in his
I
step.
respect that. I respect that.
Oh,
Yeah.
then he's go skipping.
Yeah.
He's go skipping his step.
Yeah, just
And
bad.
And the day is going
So
great.
yes, yeah, exactly. Different type of
And the
energy.
day is nice.
Yeah.
It changes things.
Yeah, no, I'll think about
He's
it.
suddenly
I might
happy
think
that it
about
wasn't
it.
your birthday.
I would personally hate
I'ma
to see
think
that
about it.
dynamic in
It
front of
would-
me. Like, wow.
Yeah,
But
it's,
it's better
I
easy
saw
to
it.
think about it if it's happening in a different room, somewhere
Yeah.
away from you.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you can see it, then your mind starts to play all these games. You start
But
to think about all
just
these
that
different
situation in general of like seeing. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but like this is like one of those little like emotional things that you can't shake when you see like your girl or whatever, like having chemistry with another guy
Yeah.
or person of opposite sex better and like in a unique way, and like a way
Compared to
that like
yourself.
and you're just like fuck, like you can see that in some cases they would rather be around that person than me, and it's like,
I mean, just as you beautifully said the other day, like, there are 100 different reasons for why someone is going to be with you.
I was just thinking that now. I was going to say, a wise person once said.
That's right.
Here he is.
And here he is. The same wise person giving different feedback.
different feedback. I'm just talking about like just like
I know what you
my
mean.
emotions,
Yeah, yeah.
certain emotions.
It's a natural emotion, I guess.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
irrational emotions. You know.
Yeah.
Like, you have to firm that within yourself. I'd have
Yeah.
to firm my boyfriend having a skip in his step for the day, the week, however long it takes.
The thing is, you don't have to firm it because you can just say to him, I'm not comfortable with this, and it will never happen.
But
You don't have to be.
No, but like,
uncomfortable with it. I feel like.
Because I don't feel like I should police.
Yeah, because that's kind
Do
of
you
like
know
a
what I mean?
policing.
I'm a firm believer in that situation. Your partner should never have a complaint about you having a problem with that, and they should just respect it. If my partner had a problem with me doing something like that, obviously it's quite an intimate thing.
Yeah.
Someone checking your private parts,
Mm.
and if my partner has a problem with that, sure, that should be okay.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to have a problem with that. If that, like, the person I envision of myself, I don't want to be the one that has problems with. I feel like that's a small thing.
you know?
Yeah. I'm not saying it's not a valid thing to have a problem over.
Yeah.
It's just not something I would want to have a problem with.
And I think it's less having a problem with the fact that your partner's going to do something, more to the fact that the other, maybe perhaps, this chance that the doctor is obviously going to enjoy herself or himself a bit more than he should.
Yeah. Because, my partner's a painting, you know what I'm saying?
So there's also that too.
Can't keep their hands off of them.
This is,
Do you know what I mean?
this is the guy
That's obviously how I see my partner.
All of a sudden it's 15
Right.
minutes now.
I'm not seeing my partner as a regular.
Yeah. He is nice.
That's right. Yeah, that's how you should.
But I should be able to firm
It
that.
should be a 5-minute
Just like
appointment.
the
All of a
banter.
sudden, he's there
Yeah,
20
because
minutes.
I feel like-
Oh,
I just
a
feel like-
15-minute appointment being a 30-minute.
Triple checking what's going on. Do you know
The
what I
thing is,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
Obviously,
If I think about it, the appointment was a very long one. It
Oh,
wasn't.
there you go.
It wasn't.
So imagine Bay, if Bay was, like, if you
Yeah,
weren't single,
his mind
imagine
would
Bay
have
was in
been
the waiting room.
Racing, you'd have been
Cartwheeling.
pacing in that waiting room.
Because
you
we'll
know?
definitely,
Start
I was
slamming
definitely
the
there for at
reception. She's supposed to be done.
least, if not 45 minutes, then an hour.
Yeah, for a
An
check.
hour.
Talking.
Half of it will chat. I said, we're busting
They probably heard you
jokes,
laughing
chatting,
outside.
everything.
You know what? If my missus came back from a gynaecologist appointment, I said, "How long was it?" She said, "1 hour." I'd be fuming. 1 hour. Do you know how long these figures are supposed to take? 1 hour.
I'm sure
You know
half
how
an
long
hour,
this was
though.
take.
No, I'm sure half an hour. 10 minutes for medical
You
background.
know what to do? What is it?
You know,
Jesus Christ.
10 minutes for... No!
What's going on?
What is going on?
Depending on the... You know,
Not everything can
not
just
an
be,
hour, that's true.
hey man,
Either you have a medical problem that I should know about, or he's done it.
And I used to know, Jason.
He's had a naughty he has a naughty session
Babe.
with you. Do you know what I mean? What if the
like, okay, I would
Just-
say maybe most of it was us talking. I'd say the examination bit about
This is shit, not like outside hobbies.
No, the thing is, okay,
Exactly,
I
you know,
know.
you know, what's your
I'd
schedule
say-
this week, you know.
Okay, I'd say
Yeah.
outside hobbies maybe contributed to maybe a combined time of about 15
But it was there. Wow.
That's fine.
No, I mean, included banter, maybe about 20, 25.
Oh my
But
god.
like,
It's definitely to half the freaking.
let me just sip my wine.
Damn.
I mean, cranberry juice.
Yeah, man. This is just grape
But
juice.
to go back to what James was saying, yeah, I think like it's not necessarily like the actual single situation of saying a girl don't see a male gynecologist, but I think it's more that type of mentality kind of feed into like a mentality to police, like acting on your discomfort that is can be irrational discomfort for you to then act on it and for it to just be respected in that situation. Like that can like manifest into like, okay, oh, don't dress like that.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do this. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Even though like, you know, it's harmless and it's like, oh yeah, I'm just changing my outfit. Oh yeah, I'm just, but it's like, it becomes like, it creates a totalitarian dynamic within a relationship.
I do think though, the fact that this man's already going to be inside your woman
What?
is different to
What?
the clothes she wears.
Stop dropping your voice like
Wait.
that when you're
Oh,
telling me
man.
the choice, bro.
Relax. Relax. You said what?
You guys give me the sternest eye contact when
Wait,
he's
wait.
inside your girl.
I
Who
think
are we talking about?
the difference in
gynecologist?
examples, I think, between women wearing whatever she wants. I'm what she can wear, what she wants. That's how you know. She met her this way. She can do what she wants. I mean, but it's different to what you call policing in terms of having another man inside her. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a different sort of case, and it's hard to compare that to policing her for what she's wearing. I feel like it's quite different.
Okay, so I think the chances of this gynecologist like acting out of turn, acting unprofessionally, is quite unlikely.
Oh, yeah,
It's possible,
I agree.
but it's quite unlikely. It's also quite unlikely. It's probably even more likely that your girl is gonna go to a club venue dressed nice and whatever,
Nice.
and then the guy is gonna approach her with the same intentions as the unlikely gynecologist going in there. So if it's a matter of intent, then that situation is way more prime to the intent of other men. Like
That's
in
a
that
brilliant
So
way to
it-
see it.
Not really, because the guy in the club doesn't have her vagina.
Yeah, but that's what you're. But that you're.
That's what you're focusing on, though. But the
you're thinking about
intention,
that. Yeah.
there's a reason someone went to the gynecologist. Do you know what I mean? And you have to leave answering that reason.
The guy in the club is just a pest. It's different. He's just a pest that's coming to try and do something. The gynecologist, he's supposed to be your safe
He's doing
place.
his job.
He's doing his job. He's inside you already. Do you know what I mean?
He's not
He's
actually.
He's supposed to be checking if you've got some sort of issue or something. So it's a vulnerable place.
So this convo is getting weird. So you're talking about
I
this
never
guy
knew
being.
he would be
You
like this.
started this, Linda, as well. I want you to take full responsibility for this show.
I do.
But so you're talking about this guy like being in your girl, like like being already like whatever. But it's not like that. It's not like
So
that.
if I became a gynecologist, would you let me?
Not you. You're
Why?
you're a thief in the night. Your dog.
I'm,
Right?
I'm a professional. If I became a professional and I got my qualification,
Anyone but you, James.
I came
alright?
from medical school.
I actually know a few gynecologists.
Would you let
Do
me?
Do you?
Yeah.
And
What they
what is
like?
their what's their
Just
I
sleaze
wouldn't
bags.
I wouldn't want them to.
Oh, really?
But they're professionals. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, but I know them personally. Do you know what I mean?
So you wouldn't want
But
them
it's
to
just
check
like
you
how
out?
if you put 10 people in front of you, just imagine each.
But if I knew a doctor, I'd go see him for doctor
Nah,
appointments.
like
But this
I
is
know
different,
quite
though.
a few doctors as well,
And you
and
wouldn't see them
again,
for doctor
pick and
issues.
choose. It's like if
Yeah.
all of you guys were doctors.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean? I probably wouldn't see.
Yeah,
Do you
exactly.
know what I mean?
Exactly.
Do you know?
Yeah.
So that's different.
But that's because I know them. You
Yeah.
can't say that if I was a. You can't
Yeah,
say that
exactly.
because
I
you
guess
know.
so.
But
I
this is
guess
a
you're right.
stranger.
I just don't see this like.
Complete. She'll never see this one again.
Yeah,
most
exactly.
likely.
And honestly, I really don't think the situation is as intimate as you think it is.
Yeah.
Unless she really
Well,
changed
can I ask
that
you another
day
thing
and
then?
never
Right,
changed
so
back.
If it was me, you'd say no. What if Linda became a gynecologist? You let her.
Yeah, I trust her.
You would trust her, but not me.
To see my
Because I'm
to
a man, right?
see my girl.
Because I'm
Yeah.
a dude. I'm a straight dude.
No,
right?
because you're James.
Alright.
You could
No,
be.
stuff it.
You think I'm joking?
Any other guy that
could be
you
a-
know. You know, right? Any other guy that you know, you're close friends with, you.
Nah, there's definitely guys that will trust over you
Okay.
in that situation.
Okay.
Like almost all of them.
What are you trying to say?
You know what I'm trying to say. Don't make me expose you on the pod, bro.
Rah! I can't believe this. I'm in general
It's all
shock.
good, man. Let's just keep it moving. If you want to keep it moving, let's
Just
keep it
saying.
moving.
If I was to choose to become a gynecologist, to be very professional, like you would say they are.
right.
Oh, maybe that's why you're not so comfy with another person.
Mm.
Because you know how you would be. Because I don't know you
It's
like
been
that.
flipped.
I don't know you like. So I don't know what these guys are referring to.
Look, all right, let's think about it.
Wow. Let's
think
talk about
Let's
it.
think about it. Your son's 16 years old and he tells you, Dad, I want to become a gynecologist.
Right.
If your son said to you, I want to become a gynecologist, how would you take that?
I mean, you don't say no because he would have gone to
I'll be like,
med
why?
school or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Before, before you
I'll be like,
specialize.
The
why?
path would
I'll be
make
like,
But
why?
sense.
if you're 16 and you're saying you want to be a gynecologist, I already know you're not serious.
Why?
I know you're not serious.
Yeah.
Because it's not a serious job.
No,
No, it's a serious job, but I know
serious when
he's
you're
not serious
16.
because
So a 16-year-old can
You
be
don't-
serious about being an architect. They can't be serious about
no,
gynecologist.
yeah.
I know you're not serious, but
Yeah.
I'm a driver. I know you're not serious.
You drive
You're
a
not
fair
serious.
point.
You're not
Yeah,
serious.
When you're 16, you're not serious.
About anything.
Yeah, you can't be.
Some
Because you
16-year-olds
haven't
do the
done
job they want to
uni.
do.
You don't know what you're going to specialize in.
This is some good stuff.
in the medical.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is rolling.
You can keep
this
it
is
in.
good.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
But,
man, I'm talking.
You can.
Sorry, man. Sorry, dog.
It's
Sorry,
cool.
dog.
No, it's cool. Keep going.
So you, dude.
You can take a 16-year-old serious about being a doctor, architect.
No.
You,
I'm not
at least a
gonna.
little bit. At least a
I'm
little
going to be
bit.
like, you know.
But straight up gynecologist, you completely disregard.
I just know in my head you're not serious. I'm not going to say
Okay,
to you,
fair.
shoot your dreams as a 16-year-old.
But what if like he really loves biology, like he's top, like he's passing in
Because you're
biology,
going to go to med
amazing.
school anyway first, alright? Before you specialize in anything.
Yeah.
So until you're,
I don't know how it works, to be fair.
yeah, like you're going to study either whatever it
Yeah,
is
you
you study
specialise.
before them years there. Once you've done that, then you're going to turn around and say, I'm going to specialize in.
It's still like at any age, it's still a mad decision to be like, you know what, I feel like I'm gonna check out vaginas for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
You
you'd
know?
be, what, 24, 25, dead? I'm going to check out vaginas for this.
Yeah.
Honestly.
But it does pay well, like those
Honestly.
like and like
It's
Fair
mad.
enough. son.
erectile
So,
dysfunction as
yeah.
well. Pays like these like
Yeah,
obscure careers.
I'm sure that
pay
coin is
well.
going up.
Oh,
Dermatologist-
swear.
With this diet
skin-
today?
the
That's-
skin-
Oh
With
yeah.
this diet today?
What the?
like the
Y'all have to worry
unsexiest-
about that one.
So I looked this up actually, and it's quite interesting that in America, gynecologists get paid around 100 grand.
100K.
There you go.
Around 100
OBGYN.
give or take. Yeah.
Oh.
Do you see them ones in
In the UK,
them two
it's
shows?
like half, but yeah, in America, it's quite a lot.
But then private healthcare and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff in
private
America.
healthcare, yeah.
Everything's a lot higher there.
Yeah, even having cancer.
And you can have your baby at your
it's crazy.
OBGYN as well. They deliver your babies.
What?
Yeah, according to, because when we watch, what is it? Not Love and Married to Medicine, that series.
I never
And
got
there-
into that. Yeah.
two OBGYNs are there,
So
and they're
what is
sometimes
that?
on
What's the
call.
OBGYN?
Whatever OB, I don't know what it stands for, but GYN is gynecologist. So
Mm.
it's like just a practice. Like, well, it looks like it's mainly females in the place, and yeah, people, whatever the situation is, you go there,
Yeah.
and then you can also give birth
Damn.
at your gynecologist.
That's good. Because they would
It's
know exactly what it
calm.
looks like. and
yeah.
No
So
wonder
I'm-
there's so much money in it.
yeah.
It's like multi-talented. Not
Multi-talented.
Not saying it in a muggy way. Just saying
Talent.
generally speaking, that is quite
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. It might, come around here if we did a whole private healthcare thing. But with erectile dysfunction,
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
that's going up.
So yeah, my uncle, I was like, there was one point where I was shadowing my uncle for like work experience, and he specializes in erectile dysfunction. Yeah.
Wild.
Wow.
And yeah, you just see all of the cases, all of like people old, young, like all of, like with families, without families. You realize that lots of men in these streets can't really lay
Can't
a pipe
get it
like
up.
that, you
Can't
know?
get it up no more.
And
This
it's like,
is a very good conversation.
You know
like,
why?
What do you
Do you know why?
What do you reckon it is?
What?
Diet?
Your diet.
yeah,
Yeah.
talk to him.
Your,
Yeah.
The mucus, fam.
exercise.
Yeah.
The mucus is built up. When I say
Damn.
mucus, I'm saying, the
Yeah,
I don't really
clarify.
know, but what?
Clarify. I was saying.
I don't know
clarify.
what it's called, but whatever it is, from too much fat and dairy and meat growing up, it builds up. And if it's not, it thickens your blood or whatever.
Mm.
Damn.
Because you know how they say strokes or something? You're more prone to strokes and heart disease. That's just your blood being too thick to get through the valves in your
Yeah.
heart.
God damn.
Oh, yeah.
But if your blood is too thick, what's the first thing your blood rushes to when you're... Then that's why you can't get... That's the first
This is some
sign.
child science.
When you're... This don't work, just know this will be soon.
Pending.
Starts with a dick.
No, it's
Look
peak.
at
It's
you,
peak.
You got 6
But
months.
no, it's not like that. It can't be like
Not
that.
that
I'm not a
quick,
medical
yes.
professional.
Look at that.
I'm not a professional in any way. I just watch
But it's
Thoughts
just-
Overnights
it's like-
and watch What the Hell.
No, but like you have to think like that aspect to like just sex is like, it's like the private. It's like something that's private, but it's so key, so pivotal. So if you can't, and there's probably like so many rappers
Imagine.
like they have to rap like, oh yeah, I got this gal, I'm gonna rock you all night, baby.
Drugs will do that too.
Oh, the
as
drugs
well.
will
In the
fuck you up.
meanwhile,
Yeah.
they got shit to,
Imagine.
Oh yeah, 100%. Drugs will make
damn.
that just a myth.
So you guys, honestly, how often do you ever think about erectile dysfunction as young men?
As young man.
Because I think it's something that a lot of men are just embarrassed to
You know
talk
what?
about.
You know
do you
what?
know what I mean?
The only time I do is when I talk to old men, and that's when I think about it.
Okay.
That's the only time.
'Cause is
As a
it-
young
wait,
man,
wait,
it's
they're
not
That
something
doesn't
that
cross my mind,
doesn't
yeah.
run through your mind as a young man.
You wouldn't
It's only when
expect-
older men that talk about it, then you start thinking, rah,
That's
am I going to be like that
asking
when I
how
get to his age?
Yeah.
Then that's when you think, interesting.
Yeah.
But you're.
But it doesn't make you think about like how to
You kind of feel
stop
like
it,
I'm
possibly.
invincible. Like,
Yeah, kind of like you kind of have that mentality.
Yeah.
Like,
and I guess at a certain point, I don't know what happens, but obviously it hits a lot of people. And then,
but just in general, it's like it's just good to take care of yourself now as much as you can.
Yeah.
Just get in the habit of like being healthy and stuff for everything. Like, you know, any problem that you have like physically or mentally, it's always going to tie into like eating well, exercising,
literally.
yeah.
So like you just cover those three. You cover like one problem, you cover all the rest of them.
Yeah.
So
I do think it's genetics as well, though.
Yeah.
Gymnastics.
Genetics.
And
Like, it's your favorite gymnastics, you'd be a healthy person.
you're healthy, yeah.
But I do think a lot with many things, it's genetics that have a huge factor.
How much do you think genetics
but
has a factor into life versus nurture? You know, the nature-nurture argument.
Yeah.
Like, how much of it is nature, how much of it is nurture? You guys think? How much of it is the genetics that you get from your mum and your dad, and your lineage, and how much of it is your environment?
Half and half, I think.
I think more environment for this one, though. I'll be honest.
Yeah, overall, on average, because I feel like for different parts of your life, it's going to be more genetic, and other parts are going to be more, you know, more environment. But on average, like, what is it? Like, if you take
30 genetics.
30% genetics.
30.
I'd agree with
Because
that.
genetics will play only to a certain point. And then, like, if you've been doing, like, okay, I'll use myself as an example. My parents didn't grow up here. So they didn't grow up on fast food. They didn't grow up on, you know, this diet. So I'm thinking, or I feel like their genetics have made me to be tip-top condition till about a certain point. And I haven't been working out or eating right for us. You know, now it's my turn to take the baton, if you like, and keep it going. Or I'm just going to fall into the situation of where I've been brought up and the diet I've been leading. So
That's
30.
hella interesting.
But I'm
So
alive
cool,
till
I
90. Some.
Yeah. But I feel like out of a lot of generations, we've been the most to like actively like be proactive about wanting a healthier life and wanting to look better or feel better, you know,
100%.
like going to gym or playing football with your friends or like doing activities. Because before it was like people were doing it, but I don't think there was that same urgency. I think maybe now something like social media or like seeing how other people look good as well makes you also motivated to want to look good as well in some way, some stronger than others. But I feel like our generation, if anything, would be the most to like not have the
More conscious about
Yeah, 100% agree, and it's like probably due to just awareness and like just knowing more when we do having social media, seeing what's going on in the world and stuff. But yeah, no, there's more gyms than ever before. There's more like Leons and all of these like you know.
Yeah, we're definitely more health conscious.
If you look at the countries that are the highest like lifespan, like Japan, those kind of countries, you look at how much meat they eat as well. They eat a lot less meat than we do in the West, and the fact that they actually walk a lot more than we do as well, because cars are not a huge thing there. It's public transport, so they're walking everywhere. If they're not bicycling or taking train, whatever,
they're walking.
So
Yeah.
so it's a combination of things. They don't eat fast food like we do too, pizzas and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And that the fact that we even have this knowledge.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I know my dad didn't growing up.
Yeah.
Have knowledge like this
Didn't know,
to know
exactly.
Didn't have
the
the
diet
access.
of
Man, living
unless
like,
he read it in a book somewhere.
Yeah.
He took himself to a library.
like living in the 90s or the 80s, or like watching like Legend with Tom Hardy and the Craze. They lived in like 1962. Like, just imagine life like that.
Yeah.
Couldn't even
When they
comprehend
thought
it.
cigarettes were healthy at some point in
It's
time.
mad. They used to be able to smoke on the bus. It is crazy.
Indoors, all of that.
Life has really
All of
changed.
that.
Oh, for real.
If anyone's been most affected by it, it's like us. Because we were alive when it became illegal to smoke indoors.
Yeah, we were.
Did you not remember when they banned
Yeah.
smoking?
Yeah.
I was alive.
Yeah,
I
we
what,
was.
2000
And we're young, but yeah.
It was 2007.
something like that.
You couldn't smoke in pubs.
That you can't smoke in like
Oh, I remember the pub
this
one.
designated
I
Or
smoking
remember.
like,
areas.
and cafe was another one.
Yeah.
Was another one. Yeah.
You know, I want to bring it back to full circle as well. Back to erectile dysfunction. So obviously you guys asked us, but have you guys ever encountered that in your personal lives?
I was gonna say
Nah.
menopause or something.
No.
Yeah, thinking, where's
directly.
that?
I'll flip it, huh?
The same thing. As in,
Have we ever encountered
has it been an
erectile
issue
dysfunction?
for you as
That's personal.
people in your age group?
That's very personal.
Oh, because it was a
You guys
personal
asked us.
question to him.
Yeah.
Thanks, Linda.
No, honestly, no. I haven't
Okay.
encountered anyone with erectile dysfunction.
Okay, so it's never been a problem on the other side, basically,
No.
from your side.
I
Yeah.
have in my workplace, but that's
What?
I
What goes
won't-
on in
tell
your
everyone
workplace? What goes on there?
No, but not like a personal situation.
Man. So how are we feeling about the death of Pop Smoke?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wasn't
One
it you
drink.
just
I
like,
was
did,
saying,
did like 1-2 songs though? Yeah.
No, but I was saying about like I was talking with a few. I was talking on the Locker Room podcast. Shout out the Locker Room podcast.
Whoop,
Shout
whoop.
out.
Locker Room Podcast. Whoop.
We were talking about the situation, and I was basically saying how Pop Smoke represented like an important thing in hip hop music that happens again and again, which is like a spike of innovation, you know, which is like him doing his, you know, rap New York flows on the drill beats and creating a completely different sound. Like when like Pop Smoke is like no one was making music like Pop Smoke, and
Yeah.
he's gone too early before he could have even made it like a thing.
Didn't
you
even
know?
exactly.
And
Man, this
that's
is supposed
just
to be
crazy.
his
Like
year,
he's
man.
when he hears music, it's like this music is so unique, and then
It's
the catalog is now done. Like it's now sealed. So it's crazy when you think about it like that. Like he had the potential to be very influential. And
I've been thinking about this lately. I've been thinking, can we liken his death to like a almost Tupac-ish style mourning where he
Gone
was
before
about
they
to
got
go,
to-
yeah, like he was about to have probably the best year of his life,
That's
all the
so
collaborations and just so much waiting for him. And
Yeah.
everyone was all like, he had so much love from every corner. He was bridging that gap between America and US and America and the UK, you know, and gassing up everyone worldwide. Do you know what I
the
mean?
love he got in London, man.
Man, we
Crazy.
felt that when he died. I
Yeah.
felt that.
Well,
And I
yeah.
remember screaming his name from Time. Remember
Yeah,
last
yeah.
year summer, I was out here talking about,
that's my baby. That's my this. I love him so much. That's my guy.
and that's the beginning of his year. Do you know what I mean? Before he even, and then now
That's
we're
when it
here full
started.
circle.
It's really sad.
It's R.I.P. to Pope.
Yeah, man.
R.I.P.
But especially being someone like in music, does it make you think that like sometimes to be immortalized is like through, like for your music to bang, really, it's through death, innit?
There
No.
is an aspect to that.
Yeah.
If you look at a lot of artists that have died and they become like legends after it.
Definitely.
Their
Yeah.
songs go straight like to number one,
Just
like after they die.
Tragedy in general is like for some reason, like it's one of the most toxic things about humans is that I can't even say the word. Someone said
Tragedy.
Thank you.
Tragedy.
Yeah, thanks. And like just the loss and stuff is the stuff that like people want to see and like elevate. So like just going through situations like that, exemplifying gang culture, all of these things are just like toxic traits that continue to just
Yeah.
you know persist. But it's not like to answer the question, I don't feel like that's the only way because there's clear examples and exemptions to that. Like for example, Chance the Rapper, prime example, just came on the scene doing him. Kanye West is another guy, college dropout, was wearing pink polos and you know talking about love in a period when everyone was like 50
Talking about
Cent. Everyone was
bitches.
trying to be 50 Cent. Basically.
Yeah.
Kanye did his own thing. This is what I'm talking about, like a spark of innovation, how like the wave that it can have. Now, because of Kanye, we have like the Lil Uzis and the Lil Yachty's and people that are just outside the box.
Was that Kanye or was that Wayne?
No, well, like
Combination?
a bit of both, but like, yeah, like 1 and 2. But I personally still see Kanye as like the birth of that, like with 808 and Heartbreaks and just the whole genre being birthed from that. You know, and then after Kanye was Future, Young Thug, and yeah, those are like the main two that birthed, and Lil Uzi as well, I guess, birthed like the mumble rap type of genre.
I do think death though does have a big impact on an artist, no matter where they come from.
Yeah,
Even look at
100%.
Nirvana with Kurt Cobain,
Yeah. Oh yes.
he was
Yes.
immortalized after he died. Like,
Yes.
it's a natural thing that happens, I guess. I
Like
don't
you
know
hate
why.
to say it, but like the art or the catalog bangs more if the artist is now no longer around or like died in a tragic way.
You know,
But I feel like that's
It makes
people
it more-
listening back,
That's how people
like
are.
just
Makes it more
reminiscing
powerful.
almost.
Maybe it's everyone tapping into that emotion of nostalgia. You know,
Yeah.
nostalgia is such a
Yeah.
powerful emotion.
So
Yeah.
powerful.
So like
So
whenever you're
powerful,
listening to
that's right.
something, you almost like you remember a time. Like for me, for example, whenever I'm listening to Dior, like I'm gassed on my way to work, on my way to anywhere. Like if I'm going to a function, that song plays. Like the pure happiness, not like it just comes from me.
Yeah.
But now when I'm listening to it, I'm like,
What
this
could
is
have
such
been?
a banger.
Mm.
What else did he have like this?
Yeah.
Like what
Yeah.
else did he have to give to us?
Same with Nipsey Hussle as well, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
all those people, you
Even
know.
look at Princess Diana for our
Yeah.
parents' generation. The way she was,
Man.
she became a legend out of. I don't
Yeah.
know why.
Yeah.
She was just a princess, but like, she became something.
She was
serious.
already daring in life.
Yeah.
And then in death, it was like.
Exactly,
Yeah,
became
you know
exemplified.
what?
The finals
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
It was like the final thing.
So, ladies, in terms of the guys that you've encountered, you know, in the past couple of years or whatever, what's the game been saying?
The game.
The game. 0
The
being
game.
non-existent, 10 being like, it's like, you know, I'm in a situation. How
Good
did I
question.
even get here? You
What
know?
proportion would you
10
say?
being how did I get here?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
proportion would you say
that
good versus bad? Half, 3/4 good, 3/4 bad. What would you say?
Oh, me first.
Yeah.
Either one.
I want to answer the first question. It was how's the game been?
How's
yeah.
the game been on average?
In London,
In
it's
London?
been trash.
Oh, come on, boys.
In London, there's no game.
Yeesh.
It's
No.
like what's your social media,
Yeah.
and then it will work
What's your
from
Snap?
there. It will, outside of this place, it's been smooth.
Where's outside?
Like,
there?
where's
So
outside?
when I was in South Korea,
Okay, yeah.
smooth,
Ah,
smooth.
can-
Not
please
just the
elaborate.
Asians, the
Please-
Americans too.
Please
It's
elaborate.
like, you know,
So that.
There's a bit of game of
you'd
it.
be like, oh, first it started off just because we can speak English, so we're just
Okay.
talking, you know, and it's nice to see someone who's also
Like-
black or foreign.
Mm.
Then you're like, oh, how did we get here?
Ah.
You know,
But would you say because you have that something in common that it's easier to talk to each other because of that?
because we're
You're
not in.
both foreigners in South
Yeah,
Korea.
yeah.
It's
Of
like-
course,
Yeah.
of course, that
A
played into it.
barrier of entry.
Yeah,
But
I guess a guy from London can't come to you
No,
and say,
there's
"Oh,
still-
you're from Beckham too," or
Because generally, like-
you're from Beckham.
The
You
same
said though.
things could be said.
Yeah.
For here, it's just guys here don't approach girls in that manner because they were approaching girls how they would approach girls in
Uh-huh.
Louisiana,
Right,
in
yeah.
Texas, how they
yeah,
would
exactly.
back home.
That's what I'm
Do
saying.
you know what I mean?
And I'm saying for you, man, them right.
For these
Right
guys
now,
in
like
London,
you
it's-
guys that are like, oh yeah, what's the snap? You guys have fucked it up for all the rest of us, yeah. Because now girls' barriers are now like 10 hot, and he needs to be doing gymnastics in the DMs. I'm joking. I just
gymnastics
No.
in DMs.
Speak the
Speak the
truth. I'm
truth.
joking,
Speak the
joking.
truth.
How
It's
about
true.
you? What do you
yeah,
think?
no, it's true.
I think in out of 100, I'd say 15 or 20
Percent.
Is
good, solid. They know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about. They know
Percent?
their approach.
Percent?
15% out of 100.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's like 1.5 out of
yeah,
10.
exactly.
Must be tiring.
Very tiring.
1.5.
Exhausting.
Yeah, you know, you got to sift it out.
Yeah,
Some
exhausting.
bad contenders that you have to
Honestly,
dish off every now
honestly.
and
It
then.
doesn't take
No,
long
the thing is, you
though.
don't even dish off. You just ignore them.
Yeah, it gets
Just
because why
switch
you?
Because why? It's like it becomes just a pure waste of your time,
fall
waste of
off.
your energy.
Yeah,
You know, as in, I mean, it depends in like,
it's the effort.
yeah.
The effort's different.
In real life, I guess it's much more easier to assess like the energy that someone's coming to you with, and you can see whether like, and also you can see who's clearly just hitting every single girl and seeing what sticks. Do you know what I mean? There's clearly
The
a
chain
problem with
message.
that.
The chain
Yeah,
message.
yeah.
Copy and paste.
Yeah, copy and paste. Copy
Damn,
and paste.
damn,
Do you know what I mean?
damn.
It's there, and you can tell they're dead
That's so-
giveaways
Well,
as
how,
well.
can you, how can you tell? How can you tell?
When you're at a party and there's that guy that's just looking at every girl,
Or talking to every girl,
every
but the
girl,
same.
and he's watching every girl's back. She looks at she walks past, they look down, see what's going on downstairs. All right, cool, and he's going.
Nah.
All right, cool. He's nodding to himself like
Oh,
rating,
my
having a
God.
rating system. Then he's talking to every girl. Yeah, you're right. Whoever responds, that's when he'll now try and
start doing
pipe
more.
up. So it's like, okay, oh yeah, you're the prettiest girl here. Okay, you said that to number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to
Yeah.
15.
That being said, if you've clocked all of
I
that
guess.
already, means you're actually kind of interested in the first place. The
No.
fact that you've been watching him that long.
No,
Or maybe it's just old
Then
fat with a finesse.
it's pure curiosity. From
That's what they
us
call it.
girls, no, us girls watch out of curiosity to see, because it's like sometimes you actually don't mind chatting to a guy, but it's the fact that like
So
you just want to see.
You would have been down, but then you've seen all that madness, and now you're no longer down.
No, but also depends on who's down. If the guy's a looker, he's nice, you like his vibe, but you can see he's been doing up hi
Can
to
you let
every.
it go? Can you brush it aside, or can you be like, you know what?
And it also it actually depends on the vibe.
Yeah,
It depends on how the
oh, sorry.
conversation goes after that point. Do you know what I mean? Or
Okay,
your
first.
point of.
But have you ever
irritation.
been in a situation where you're like, this guy's his conversation dead, but he's so paying, you know what?
Wow.
Let's see where it goes.
No. If you can't vibe with me, then it's finished.
Here's what
That's
I
just it.
I'm thinking. Man, I probably have.
Listen, that's guys do it all the time, you know. Fuck the convo, is it? You look good, you look good. What you say? Just stop talking.
Yeah, but I feel like that's more generally the male approach. I feel like it's more. I mean, like given that situation, like a club situation, like it's more aesthetics than anything else.
Yeah.
All right.
I second that.
I'm alright.
I second that.
It's not a problem.
So how do you think when girls do talk to you or have ever approached you, what's the approach been like, and how have you assessed that ever?
Oh yeah.
Man. Wow.
I'm very curious to see, like, you know.
Wait.
So I'll say, for example, in a club setting, if a girl approaches me in a club setting, she's not usually the looker of the.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Tight.
Is that tense?
Tight.
Yeah.
Is that tense?
No, it's not tense.
My
It's
career's
just
over.
hard to swallow.
Why do I keep coming back here? All right.
Oh shit.
But
Oh god.
she's definitely very drunk, and she's like exuberating the confidence, but it's like more like it's masculine energy, like she's like trying to take charge, like, oh god, what's going on here, you know?
Oh shit.
Yeah, so when
You feel emasculated, like.
yeah, it's just like
I was
the girl
gonna say,
comes in, like,
isn't
heavy,
that
like-
how you would feel as a guy?
Yeah, I
to
felt
be
violated,
approached.
to be honest.
Yeah, because the whole logic of it all.
But
Like-
if it's a pretty girl, would you still feel as emasculated?
No, if it's
Ah.
if she,
Okay.
if it's
just
pretty,
my
if it's
day.
a pretty, it's like that's what I'm saying.
Well.
Like, I'll tell you, like, I don't know about how other men's minds work, but if it's like just like if it's a
Say it.
Go on.
if it's a pretty guy and she approaches you, you're like, you're almost like, oh, well, this is meant to be. This is like a movie.
Oh, it's
moment,
fake.
almost. You know what I mean? Like,
Damn,
so
like that.
you know,
Wild.
and then that's, man, I'm delirious from this conversation. Right.
James, what's your?
You know,
Very mixed.
and is the game good or not?
I would say in general that girls don't have game when they approach guys.
Mhm.
It's because it works. Whatever they do, it seems to work for them. So
Mhm.
they just recycle and repeat. It's just really like uncreative lines, I guess. Think of
Give me a sample.
I'm trying to think. Think of your usual guy that would try to move to you in the club.
Right. Oh, you look nice. Yeah, we say we'll just snap.
That's not my line. Like, sorry, I couldn't contain that one. I had to fly. Alright.
Something similar.
What are we saying
But
here?
girls don't ask for socials that quickly. Girls usually wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah, they kind of
Wait
like
into how the conversation
they kinda
goes.
like-
Yeah.
they kind of like make
Yeah.
themselves more of bait. In
What?
that's the way. What bad word. But they kind of like put themselves
it's a
in
correct
situations.
word. It's a correct word. You
Yeah.
put yourself
In
in
the
the situation
situation,
or
yeah.
show
so
the
that the
interest.
guy can finish the
So-
job.
exactly.
That's
It's
what.
not an
that's what I've
outright,
experienced.
boom, I'm trying to collect, you know?
Exactly.
It's more here collectively.
Yeah. So like they'll be like,
Got
wake
it.
up.
He said,
Got it.
yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'd say like in a house party setting, like if it's like she'll be trying to talk more,
Or
but
she'll
then
come down
she'll
next
be like,
to you.
she'll like
Uh-huh.
maybe present a shoulder, or
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
or just dance in your vicinity. You
Yeah.
know? So Yeah.
Do boys get annoyed by that? Like, would you prefer
Yeah, good
that?
question.
Because would you prefer when girls like make it
No.
kind of known that I kind of want you to talk to me right now,
It depends
versus
on
the girl actually starting.
I'm not gonna lie.
So would
I
you
miss
prefer-
it a lot. Oh, I miss it too late, personally.
So it's the same thing with
You miss
girls. If
Sometimes
As
I
in,
miss
you
it.
don't get the
And
signs.
sometimes I'm like, I'm just too naive about it. Like, I'm
Wow.
like, she's just like.
I've got a follow-up
and
question
like,
to
there's
that.
like maybe PTSD from being in the clubs where girls like kind of like dance next to you and then you go like and then
Oh,
they're
then
like,
they're like,
oh no,
whoa.
I'm just dancing over here. And,
Oh no, I'm just dancing,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, exactly. So like probably from that, I just kind of like
Yeah,
you
I
know she's just
see.
teasing or whatever. And then,
I do have a follow-up, but you was gonna say
what's your follow up?
my follow-up is them. So what would be the correct approach, or what would be the ideal approach for? I'm asking for a friend. For someone to approach a guy.
You know, it's hard to say that because it depends on if the guy finds the girl good looking.
True.
yeah, I feel like
If the guy doesn't find the girl good looking, there is no.
Then
correct
there is
approach.
no.
It exists.
no. But at the same
Man.
time, like
Linda, you're right.
charm charisma is like sexy, like at least to like me to more to others, but like can definitely be charmed by like a girl that you wouldn't necessarily you know, be. Yeah.
So say a
charm
5
and
out of 10
charisma.
comes to you, and you're already thinking, oh, you just entertain this conversation, but then she starts coming with lines that's making you feel, oh,
How
you've
much
got
have I
some
had
butter
to
on
drink?
you.
Yeah, today. How much have I had to drink?
How much have you had to drink? Because obviously, me and James have been in the trenches.
Yeah, I
together
know you
many
guys love the
times.
story. That's why I'm trying to milk it out.
Yeah,
It's
but,
not even-
like, it's not happening. But you know,
Yeah,
alcohol is a powerful.
I don't recall any of this kind of
It's a
situation.
hell of a
You know, the
drug.
grape juice.
Yeah.
You know, the grape juice.
I mean, you know, to be fair, if I'm going to be honest about your question, I can't be honest about your question. Let me stop right there.
Oh shit!
On that note, it's been
I
great
think that
having
is
y'all.
Thank you, man. I've had a good time.
Yeah, funny one.
So
I've
one
had a
last
good
time,
time.
you know, give it up for how he smells.
Yeah, shout
And
out.
James, my favourite Gemini.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Lovely.
All right, till next time. Can we expect you as guests some other time?
Anytime.
Oh, of
Anytime.
course, yeah.